Hey everyone, I'm Devin, your friendly neighborhood board gamer, and this is Devin Talks Board Game Co. This is the first of what will hopefully be numerous videos of me up on Board Game Co.'s channel, and I'm going to be helping Alex just do some solo content of my own and also cover some things on the channel that either he doesn't have the bandwidth for or that is maybe more suited to my interests than his own. And that is why I am here with you today with some RPG content, and I am eschewing my favored Devin Talks Tabletop mug with what was coincidentally a blue and white water bottle, which was not my intent. So I've got my tea in here, and it just happens to match the colors, but I'm here doing some Board Game Co. content. Let's get started with a timestamp. So, I will try to delicately fight the balance of being chaotically Devin and also informatively Alex in terms of being a Board Game Co video. This is to go over the City of Mist RPG. And what I have before you is going to be an unboxing and a little bit of an overview. So the unboxing here, for those that are curious, this is the ultimate set bundle. And I have this not to necessarily say this is what you need, but to be able to kind of show you all of the different components that make up this bundle and the separate pieces which you might be interested in any capacity or in any combination. So let's go ahead and start not with these behemoths, but with that one that just fell over. This right here, oh my goodness, too many things are falling over. I don't know if I have my cheese knife. Where is my cheese knife? I'm going to cut to when I have a cheese knife. There's my cheese knife. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be opening up what is the starter box. And this is a trend that I feel like has kind of come about the last few years or so with a lot of different RPG content. I think starter boxes are a fantastic avenue into a particular world, into a particular role-playing system, and they just give players a lot easier time in terms of acclimating to what could be their first time playing role-playing games in general, or their first time shifting from one system to another. Let's go ahead and open this up. As I'm opening this up, I'm just going to kind of discuss what usually takes place inside of a starter box. You usually have some components which are not always necessary. Sometimes they're just customized to match the aesthetics of the world that you're in. So right here we have two different, looks to be D12s. I think these are D12s. And they do have customized results on them. So these would be necessary if you are trying to make sure you have what you need. Then you've also got some different components like cards and a little reference sheet or theme card there. I'm going to try and open this up with as little. Now you guys are just seeing how bad I am at opening stuff. This is a great start. So these are tracking cards, which I am not entirely sure how those will come into play. Possibly it's tracking objectives or people tracking your characters. But the main thing that they'll usually come up with in a starter box like this is they're going to have some preset characters that players can get into, and then they're also going to have guides for the players and guides for the MC. So right here, if we're opening this up, you can see we have a physical location. It says the speakeasy, the cruise office, and the liquor store. And then on the back side, you have the old aquarium. So it's very possible that there is a preset scenario within here and that these are physical locations that you might be going to in the course of that environment. Because as you can see, you have even more locations here. You've got the alleyway and you've got Rusty's bar, which give you two more locations for characters and for stuff happening. And then you have a larger ballroom. So some larger venues that take the course of an entire poster board, and then some smaller locations that are split up. And as you can see, we've got tokens here. So this allows you to have physical tokens on the space in order to get a little bit more familiar with stuff. And also, as you can see, there are definitely some character ones and then some NPCs or some enemies. But these are really great. Wow, just pretty insane quality here in terms of the printing. So if you're unfamiliar with City of Mist, before I go on too much into exploring what's inside each of these elements, City of Mist is unique in some of the storytelling elements that it has woven in to its foundations, because in other RPG systems, you're either usually one of two different people. You are a hero from the outset, and you're already kind of impressive, and you just get to live in vicariously through that awesomeness. Or you're someone who is very ordinary, and you build up to something special. And that's kind of both at play at the same time in the City of Mist, because you're ordinary people with regular occupations, but then within you, you have this incarnate legend or myth that exists inside of you, like King Arthur or like Little Red Riding Hood. And so you have these competing storylines, this ordinary existence and this supernatural or extraordinary existence that vie for time and attention within your life. And those are competing elements rather than like disparate, separate storytelling modes in other systems. It's all fighting for air and for attention within City of Mist, but I think that gives you a lot of really fun options for storytelling. So, for example, Baku here is someone who's got a completely normal life. On this side, you have everything about them, but it's got their mythos to them as well. I'm not entirely sure what this person is other than Baku. I know that Baku is going to be kind of their mythos or their legendary figure that is inside of them, and they are a dream eater. But I'm trying to see what their normalness is. What is their normalness? If we're just going to read the flavor text of this, it says, "The people of this city are slumbering, sleeping even through their waking hours. And in their sleep, bad dreams haunt them, flesh and blood nightmares that prey on their oblivious minds and numb bodies. Sometimes they awaken for a moment, just enough to call for help. I am that help. I am here to hunt that which hunts, to terrify that which terrifies. I am the nightmare of those who would be the nightmares of others. I am a nightmare from which there will be no waking up. My name is Baku, and I am the Dream Eater." So what I love about the promise of City of Mist is that you really get this narrative in which the rest of the city that isn't you or like the nefarious, sinister underbelly, those people are not aware of what's going on. There's a fog, there is a mist that prevents them from seeing the world as it really is, and where you might know and be generating these powers, they will have some visual or environmental explanation and occurrence that gives the impression of what you're doing. So if you send off a fireball, maybe that just looks like a gas explosion or something like that. Or, actual magic might just look like sleight of hand. And so this mist is keeping them from seeing what's really happening. And you are one of the few with like the true vision of what life is, because you are not one of these sleeping people, which, narratively or, thematically ties into Baku, but that wasn't my intent. So I really like this juxtaposition of the city in which you live and the way that ordinary people live and exist from day to day, and also how they perceive the world around them, and then you, who are these miraculous individuals who have very ordinary circumstances outside of what is inside of them, and giving them the source of their power and specialness. So this is just exactly perfect in how it describes it. City of Mist, ordinary people, legendary powers. So here you have Detective Enkidu, and so another character there. And if we're digging down even further, we've got Job. So you've got the biblical character Job, who absolutely looks like he does not take anything easy. Lily Chow here. Definitely interesting in terms of, I love these character boards. These character boards are huge. I think a lot of times when you have RPG settings and you have preset character stuff in starter boxes, you essentially just have printout paper and it's got their stats and stuff, and you can figure out what you're going to do there. But this has got a how to play. It's got your abilities here. It's got pretty much everything you need. And the production quality of these is just out of this world. In terms of, I have a lot of RPGs that I enjoy and a lot of RPG companies that I admire, but simply the production level here is quite insane. And then this is what I was talking about down below. You've got your players, and this is your guide for the players, and then this is your guide for the Master of Ceremonies, which is shortened to MC. And if you're familiar with stuff, that will be like the Dungeon Master or the Game Master. In this, it's the MC. So you've got a small booklet to help that person get started, and then you've got a small booklet to help the players. These are condensed, soft paperback rule books that are abbreviated or simplified versions of the larger rule books that you would get in the core set. This is to get you started and to get you in on the game. So this is a starter box. It's got those two guides for the characters and for the MC or the Master of Ceremonies. It's got 5 preset characters with absolutely fabulous player boards. It's got all of the tokens that you'll need, which just smacking that alone kind of knocked that out of there. And then it has also got these physical locations as well with a couple other components. So this is your starter box. As I mentioned, if you just want to get a taste of what City of Mist has to offer, this alone is enough to do it. It's got enough rules to get you started and to guide the playthrough, and it's got characters that can get you going without having to necessarily generate your own. But this is the first step or first foray into City of Mist for what would be a lot of people. But there's more. I'm going to go ahead and skip this one here and go right to this massive section of hardbacks. So as you can see here, this is a pretty thick, it's actually thicker than the starter box that you get, and all it is the rules of the game. So if you really want to get into this, if you're someone who has a lot of role-playing experience, or you are someone who really likes to feel fully immersed into the world that you are and have all of the information, and if you're also typically the MC, the Master of Ceremonies, or the DM, then this is definitely the amount of information that you're going to want to have on hand. This is the core set of City of Mist, and inside of here we've got 3 different elements. You've got your player's guide, a beefy hardback book. You've got your MC toolkit, which is going to be how you create these narrative beats and moments and experiences within the city. And then you've got your MC screen here, which is just a nice accessory. If you are new to a lot of role-playing stuff, MC screens or Game Master screens, whatever you want to call them, are very useful tools because not only do they create a little bit of mystery and hide what the... Let me see if I can get this off. Let me see if I can't not mess this up. I just don't want to mess with I don't want to rip this at all. Okay, I will deal with that later in terms of getting that off. But the nice thing about screens is that usually when you have them up, they both prevent the players from seeing what you're doing, and it also gives you kind of at a glance rule reminders and the most frequent elements of the mechanics that pop up. You'll get these rule tags within this screen so that you can have this facing you, and if you're just trying to remind yourself of something that comes up pretty quickly, then you can for sure get that. So right here you've got player moves. So what the players are able to do, MC intrusions, which means anytime you're going to be interrupting what the players are doing. Soft moves, which are ways to advance or adjust the story before and after the player's actions. And then you've got statuses and narration. So all of these are just cues to help the MC really get you into the game and help break the pattern of maybe having to rule check yourself as you're going. If some of the more frequent or usual things that you're going to apply or inject into the narrative, into the experience, if all of that's here with a nice heads up display, then this MC screen has 2 purposes: blocking the story from being ruined by other players and setting yourself up for some fun stuff, and then also giving you a little bit of an easy toolbar to access as you're going. So this is the MC screen that you're going to have here, and then as I mentioned, you got the Master of Ceremonies toolkit and then the player's guide. These are huge, they're beefy, and they are comprehensive in terms of how they're going to prepare you for everything that you need. Usually you'll have something like a table of contents that's going to organize everything that you've got, and then typically in the back you have a larger index which can get you everything that you want to know, which could be here or could not be here. It's entirely possible. Possibly not here, but we'll see. The table of contents is enough to get you on your feet. Sometimes they'll have an index in the back if you have an exhaustive amount of material. But as you can see here, oh, perfect. Index 213. Guys, I wasn't crazy. I wasn't crazy at all. So, here you go. You've got your appendices or index going on. So, anything you want to know about that is referenced in here is going to have page numbers that you can talk about. So this is your toolkit. It is comprehensive. It is something that you will not always have to refer to, but if you are trying to become fully prepared before you start something as the MC for a City of Mist RPG experience, it's the kind of thing that you will want to be going over in its entirety just to kind of really get yourself acquainted with the world. And then you have the player's guide, which is useful for obviously the players, but it is still a wonderful resource for the MC because it tells you everything that your players can do, and you need to know what your players can do just like they need to know what they can do. So it is a resource that is usable for both sides of the screen. You've got resources here, and you've got everything you need to know to develop your characters, to keep them healthy, hopefully, and to keep the game running smoothly. Again, this is different from the starter box. The starter box is designed to give you a condensed experience with the rules. Burp. And then also to give you a faster playtime and access into the world. But starter box, core set, and then we've got a couple more elements that are really going to show you what is going on in City of Mist. I'm going to do this way, which is horrifying, I know, but I really just want to deal with that glue or, adhesive. Oh, I dealt with it. That was simple. It just seemed harder earlier, guys. It seemed like it was going to pose a lot more problems than it ultimately did. So now I'm going to get this stuff in here. Boom. You've got your core set. Comes in a nice slip case here. This will keep it done. And you have beautiful artwork. Very much kind of like a very grim, dark comic aesthetic, which I appreciate. Reminds me of The Boys, which is one of my favorite kind of darker, gritty takes on the superhero genre. And this feels like I would be able to role play in something that is not immediately similar, but does have some overarching themes that might match. This right here is your Into the Mist kind of expansion set. So you've got 3 different elements here. And again, this is the ultimate bundle. So this has everything that you would want in City of Mist, but it's definitely not all necessary. If you're looking to get started, the starter box can do that for you. If you're looking to get in on the ground floor and you're an experienced role player person, the core set will be where you get familiar with all the rules. And then if you start to expand and explore what you're wanting to do in the game, that can really give you some extra variability when you tug into these modules or these elements of it. So this has got the Shadows and Showdowns and Knights of Paintown, which are both story arc boosts and then also expansions into the world. So you can see right here a story arc of crime, magic, and lost souls. So this is an entire new narrative experience that you can jump into and explore. And just like the core set, you've got pretty much everything you need here to get into this world and into these new story possibilities. It's pretty much a full narrative breadth that adds on to your existing experience. And no matter what prior stories you've accomplished or finished in terms of conclusiveness in your world, it's something that you can add. And then you've got the Shadows and the Showdowns, which is delving into the mist and uncovering the secrets of the city. So these are huge add-ons or modules that can augment what you are already enjoying and uncovering within the world of City of Mist. And it's definitely not something that you need at the outset. This is stuff that you can come to later once you have really enmeshed yourself in this experience. But you also have a crime board map, which goes along with Knights of Paintown. So if we're going to slip this here and put this back on top, you can see that it matches here. It's got a physical board city map with pinnable clues, and you can do that for the story arc that goes into Knights of Paintown. What I love about the world of City of Mist is that it feels like the combination or the center point, the intersection of a lot of pop culture that we have in our world. So in terms of, if you're looking at Marvel, if you're looking at, myths and fairy tales, if you're looking at true crime, gritty crime, stuff like that, all of those are really disparate, kind of isolated storytelling experiences. And whether you're doing them in role-playing or whether you're experiencing them in some other media, they don't really have a lot of overlap. And City of Mist seems to really force that overlap. And I like that. I like the idea of these worlds colliding in this very colorful, vibrant, and bloody experience. And so City of Mist really seems to promise that. And again, these are extras that you can get once you are hooked and in on the system. But this is Knights of Paintown and then the Shadows and Showdowns. So I'm going to slip these back into the box. Hopefully I'll do not what I'm doing. So as you guys can see this, you should not do this. Whatever this is called here, whatever I'm doing, don't do that because it doesn't look good and it doesn't work. Yeah, just the visuals I'm a fan of. In terms of graphic novels, I really enjoy reading those and experiencing those. And you've got a lot of stuff going on here. So you've got the starter box, you've got the core set, you've got the Into the Mist, and then you've also got this character folio pack. This is an accessory that you can get as an add-on when you are getting the overall... This is an accessory that you can get, an add-on, something that you can purchase if you want it separately, or it comes as part of the ultimate set. So you've got the character folio pack here with 14 illustrated pre-generated character folios. And this is just more of what you see from the starter box. And this is probably, it's unnecessary, but it's well worth it if you decide that you want to invest in that particular style of table presence, because these folios are truly exceptional. There's 5 of these in the starter box, but they really do show an incredible amount of detail. They're lavishly done in terms of art production and graphic design, and they give players such an easy pathing to follow and a nice review of what they're supposed to be doing on their turns, as well as the abilities that you have. And just front and back on these are exceptional. I love the full art that you get of the character. I love the flavor text that you get, the nice little tagging of the IP there, and then you have everything you need to play. So there are 14 of these here, 14 of these folios, and all of them are, they're just beautiful. They are just absolutely lovely, and every single aspect of them. You got Bodhi here, who is a gamer, but also a legendary monk. And so I think this is probably one of the things that I didn't realize about City of Mist in terms of the components or the accessories that you can get that I am the most impressed with. I think that those will really kind of create a remarkable table presence when you have those with your characters. So this is the character folio pack, along with the ones that were already in the starter box. That gives you 19 different character folios, which is really, really nice. So exceptionally interested to try this. As I mentioned, I'm going to put these folios off to the side because they no longer have plastic shrink to keep them standing up all together. This is the starter box core set and Into the Mist expansions for City of Mist, the RPG. This is an experience that once I started to read up on it and learn more what was existing here, I love the setting. I love the idea of an unknowing public who are just kind of blithely going about their day and unaware of what's going on in the shadows. And then I really like this inner turmoil or inner conflict of having a relatively, just menial existence or regular lifestyle in whatever profession you have, whether it's the plumber who has, an extraordinary life, or whether it's a socialite or a police detective. The idea of these people being imbued, being embodied by absolutely legendary figures, mythos characters, and powerful, entities. I think that's such a cool idea, and it really makes me want to explore what's going on here. This is City of Mist. I hope you guys have a good one. I know that this is not Devin Talks Tabletop, and so I don't know the sign-off that I should do. I just know that Alex would probably have finished talking by now because he talks so much faster than me. If you have any questions about this, if you're curious about this RPG, if you have played this RPG and want to share your thoughts, go ahead and comment down below. And I'm excited to engage with you guys in the comments and see what's up. I'm also excited to try this. Very excited. See you guys next time. Bye.